The final national championship of the 2025 summer season is in full swing with the prep baseball feature games right around the corner. There is no better time to be at LakePoint Sports Baseball Village and no better way for you to spend your morning than with us right here. I'm Cory McCartney. We've got an absolutely great matchup for you today. Carolina Prime and Canes, Virginia in a pool play game. First pitch slated for right around 8 a.m. And it's a meeting of two teams with 7 committed players, among them 17 ranked players. A member of the U.S. women's national team on the mound, and Naomi Ryan for Canes, Virginia. A Clemson commit and Blake Bryant on the mound for Carolina Prime. And we're going to have a newly minted Baseball Hall of Famer on the field as well, Billy Wagner, coaching this Canes, Virginia team. So this one is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups presented by the Windscreen Factory. Slade Bird will lead things off for Carolina Prime, and he'll be followed by Tyler Van Summeren. Then it's Ben Fussell, Roman Colella, Colby Tatter, Caden Ridge Nance, Seth Seuss, Chip Hetzel, Slade Sweat, Jeremiah Alford, and the aforementioned Blake Bryant will be on the mound. Meanwhile, for Canes, Virginia, Mandela Broman leading things off, followed by John Michael Sheff. Then it's William Tomlinson, Jackson Rosales, Ryan Steeper, Cody Peck, Dylan O'Connor, Jacob Eckert. Brendan Shadlack will be behind the plate. Danny Kim in left field, and Naomi Ryan, the left-hander, will be on the mound. As I mentioned, we will roll from the 17U National Championship, which will wrap up with Tuesday's final, and go right into the feature games, which kicks off Wednesday with workout day, and then it's gameplay on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the junior feature game will then take center stage on Sunday for their championship game. Now, this, of course, is Prep Baseball's crown jewel event featuring the top uncommitted players across the United States and Canada from July 24th to 28th. Among those players that will be suiting up for Georgia is Denmark catcher Daniel Bondo. Let's get to know him in this edition of Road to the Future Games. We are on the road to the feature games. We've got Daniel Bondo, who's going to cap his summer repping Georgia at the feature games. Daniel, man, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Coming out of Denmark High School, you're going to be here for the feature games. Tell me how you found out and what the reaction was.
Well, I found out like maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I was just playing. It was my first time catching since injury, and then Hudson went up to my dad and asked if I was ready. And so I guess that was my dad's hint. So he told me in the car, and I got excited because that's been a dream of mine for a long time.
You mentioned Hudson Graham, the scouting director for Prep Baseball Georgia, giving you that invite. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into that event. You've been around Gino Gorowski, one of your high school teammates who's been a part of it. Are you going to ask anybody about what to expect, or are you going to kind of go into it and set up your own expectations?
I mean, I guess I can ask Gino because he's been through it, and I know a lot of guys that have been through it, so I can just ask them for some tips and like how it goes and what I need to expect.
We had over 500 college coaches here for it last year. Obviously, a lot of pressure in that situation. I always think a catcher has to deal with it more so than anybody else because obviously you got a lot of pitchers you're trying to deal with who are trying to make a lot of a small amount of time that they have to impress those coaches. How are you going to approach that as a catcher?
Well, my goal is just to show leadership throughout the whole field, make sure my pitchers are doing what they need to, have control over the whole field, and just be a leader overall.
How long does it take you to get comfortable with a pitcher? And obviously, in an environment like that, you're going to have to do it even faster than normal.
Not very long, actually. Like, depends. Just talk to them. 10 minutes should be fine. Just try to create a bond before the game.
Tell me a little bit about the player that the coaches are going to end up seeing at future games.
Well, I've always thought of myself as more like an underrated. Could probably see just good, solid hitting and leadership.
Talking to your Smart Tense coach, he said the big thing for you here at 15U National Championships is you're generating extra base hits regardless of the velocity that you're seeing. Tell me about your approach as a hitter.
Well, I'm usually like more of an aggressive hitter. I try to strike the fastball first pitch. If it's not there first pitch, take it, try to work the count, and then just try to drive gaps just wherever the ball's placed, hit it to where it's put.
Being a young catcher, I'm always interested to know who influenced you along the way. So who were those pros when you were getting kind of your own feel for the catching position? Who'd you look up to?
I've been looking up to JT Realmuto lately. Just solid catcher, great pop time, just good leader. He's been good for a long time.
Well, he is Daniel Bondo. You will see him at the feature games July 24th through 28th here at LakePoint Sports. Daniel, man, congratulations again. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
So, again, make sure you get here on campus July 24th through 28th for the prep baseball feature games. Also have the senior feature games, the junior feature games in full swing. Over 400 college coaches were on campus last year. And, of course, out of this just comes dozens upon dozens of commitments. So a lot of fun to take all this in. Now, the on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience. That includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Located here on campus at Curve Test Center, it takes players to an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center. Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit at the Bubble here in the LakePoint Sports campus or sign up now at curvetestcenters.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. One more look at our Windscreen Factory starting lineups before we take you to the action here on the field between Canes, Virginia, and Carolina Prime. Again, we're going to see Blake Bryant, the Clemson commit, on the mound for Carolina Prime, and Naomi Ryan, the left-hander, a member of the U.S. Women's National Team, will be on the mound for Canes, Virginia. So this one figures to be an absolute ton of fun. Grayson Rosen stepping in, and we're a little bit tangled here in our studio setup. Yeah, we are. Really excited for this one, Grayson. We start putting together these matchups, and, you know, no offense to anybody, sometimes you never know what you're going to get. And as this one kind of started to formulate, and we saw the players in the field have coached one of the biggest coaching names that we're going to have the entirety of the summer. But this one, absolutely exciting, and we mentioned Naomi Ryan, and she is going to be a lot of fun to watch on the mound here. Miller School out of Virginia. Seeing the lefty now. She's got a 2-0 count now to Slade Bird. Bird holds off inside. We've got Ryan with a fastball around 82. She also has a changeup 68 to 74, a curveball that's set 66 to 69 miles an hour. Also a WBSC World Cup silver medalist. Mentioned her being on the U.S. Women's National Team. That was in 2024 and 2023. She runs the count even here to Bird.
Yeah, pretty outstanding to see, something we don't really get to see all that often here at LakePoint Sports, but Naomi's definitely a huge name to watch.
So is the guy at the plate right now in Slade Bird, and he absolutely pops that one on the run. Second baseman has it, and that'll be out number one. So Bird, the Georgia Southern commit, pops up, one down as we now turn it over to Tyler Van Summeren. Van Summeren on his way to Kennesaw State here out of Tift County. Yeah. Big week for Kennesaw State, although a little bit of a bittersweet big moment for Kennesaw State as Reed Worley, who was a signee out of Cherokee, ends up getting drafted by the Giants, and word has it that Reed will in fact be signing with the Giants and will not be suiting up for the Owls.
Yeah, I'm not particularly surprised. I think when a talent like Reed Worley comes through, obviously, you know, we talked about it a lot. It seemed like, at least on the surface level, Reed Worley became a name larger than Kennesaw State, at least where the program's at right now. And he stayed firm with the commitment, and he loved the program, and the program really liked him, and you could tell. And but when an opportunity comes along like that, it's hard to pass up.
Well, we are obviously excited for Reed, who we had here on campus many, many times across his career as a travel player and playing for Cherokee. Got to spend some time with Reed at both Super 60 in Chicago and the Prep Baseball All-American game. So excited for both him and his family as he starts this next chapter of his playing career. Meanwhile, some players looking to put that final cap on their travel time of their playing careers. Had that conversation with Billy Wagner pregame, and he said, "This is it. This is the last ride." His last games as a travel ball coach. Him and his son Grayson, who's a member of this team, who's a pitcher. So I think we go back to bittersweet. It's a bittersweet weekend for these players as well, as this is going to be the end for many of them of their travel careers.
Yeah, this is the last chance we're going to get to see a lot of these people out here on these fields right now. And I think the big thing is that, the summer is over and that part kind of – oh, there we go.
Yeah, Van Summer drops that into center field for a base hit, so he'll have a one-out single, and that'll bring up Ben Fussell.
I'll be rooting for Van Sumeren for years to come. As a Kennesaw State guy that I interviewed, I think I have to root for him, and I want to. And he's a great player to root for.
Well, this is an absolutely loaded Carolina Prime lineup, and we're going to see another instance of that here as Ben Fussell, the Mercer commit out of Coffee County, steps in. Got a runner at first in Van Sumeren.
What I mentioned about this kind of being the last ride is, yes, it's the last ride of that travel ball type season, but I think there's just such an amazing part about heading into that senior season. For a lot of these players, you're heading into like kind of your first year is like the true leaders on your high school team, which I think is pretty amazing. And for this Cairns, Virginia team, I think they're all heading back to the same high school for the most part. So interesting to maybe see how that dynamic works.
Yeah, there are
so many seniors.
Most of them of this Cairns, Virginia team coming out of the Miller School, where Billy Wagner does coach them as well. Yeah. They're going to have a rundown. Oh, man, he's absolutely flying into second. Ball gets away from the second baseman, so Van Sumeren flashing that speed. We've got him with we don't even have the.
I don't think we have a 60
We don't have a 60 on Tyler Van Sumeren.
Yeah, I think part of that.
Mystified.
Tyler committed the fall of his freshman year.
Yeah, so if you watch our broadcasts, a lot of times we get into these advanced metrics and the players will have exit velos, we'll have the 60 times, we'll have outfield velo, pop times for the catchers. If they don't go to prep baseball showcases, that one is absolutely roped by Fussell. Left fielder will cap that one and be out number 2. If they don't make it to showcases, there's a limit on the amount of time that we have the numbers for them. Some of the guys will have that commit really early into the game. They'll be in that 17U season, and we'll have year-old numbers on them when the exit velos have jumped up dramatically. And we're still talking about them having 88, 89 mile-an-hour exit velos. And they're like, guys, I'm triple digits now, so you got to update these things. But all right, so Fussell pops into the left fielder's glove, and that's now going to be Roman Colella, the DH's turn. Colella, Hilton Head Christian. It's a dribbler. Oh, is it in play? Our camera kind of pixelated there, so luckily the play resets, and so do we. Colella, 5'11", 170-pounder.
Yeah, a couple of guys out of the Hilton Head Christian team out here. Slade Bird, the leadoff hitter, one of, I believe, 4 on the roster.
Got a little John Cena vibes. You can't see me out of the camo here with Carolina Prime.
I've never seen these jerseys for Carolina Prime. Typically, we're used to that
orange,
white and orange.
Or Clemson-esque.
Yeah.
Which
Blake
obviously, speaks to Blake Bryant. Maybe that's why Blake Bryant ended up. Maybe Eric Bakich has Carolina Prime.
I do have a little bit of extra insight now on Carolina Prime that I've learned over the last couple of days. Their head coach Shane Monahan spent 2 years in the bigs with the Seattle Mariners, and I believe was in the Marlins organization as well. Went to Wheeler High School, so we got MLB players going head-to-head on the coaching staff.
This matchup just keeps getting better and better, sweeter and sweeter as we go along here.
And Shane Monahan, I believe, played his college days at Clemson. So I think that also aids to the Clemson-esque colors for Carolina Prime.
Well, his pitcher today will be following in his footsteps. Meanwhile, that one's popped back. Count will be even here against Roman Colella. Colella, the DH today for Bryant. There is a fearlessness on the mound from Naomi Ryan. She is not afraid to go inside. Comes a 2-2. That one is dropped down into right field, and that's going to be a base hit. Runner taking off for home. Van Sumeren showing off that speed.
Oh, man.
Did you get? Maybe we should have had the stoplights going on that one. We get some serious run off that. But All right, Van Sumeren crosses the plate, and Carolina Prime has a 1-0 lead over Canes, Virginia here in the first with 2 outs.
Yeah, Van Sumeren was flying, and he got a really good bounce there to just make it kind of unplayable by the right fielder. So good work by Carolina Prime to go ahead and get on the board.
So a Kennesaw State commit crosses the plate, and now another one will come to the plate, and Colby Tatter out of Lawton Childs High School in Florida. Kennesaw State dipping into the Sunshine State here for some commits.
Yeah, when I saw that the first time, when I saw that Colby Tatter was on the roster and saw he was a KSU commit, I was a little bit surprised. They're typically a very heavily in-state recruiting team, but
yeah, Ryan Coe really likes to own Metro Atlanta, and those guys that maybe get away from those Power 4 programs likes to snatch them up. But getting Tatter here out of Lawton Childs, he's the 11th ranked catcher in Florida, 103 overall in that state. Exit velos are a 94, bat speed north of 70 miles an hour. Pop time around 190. Tatter will be behind the plate here as we move to the bottom of the inning. MLB draft, of course, we were talking about that with Reed Worley. Some surprises, especially at the top there with Eli Willits going number 1 to the Nationals. We spent a lot of time, a better part of a year plus, talking about Ethan Holiday being the presumptive number 1 player in this class. And then the college baseball season happens, and maybe it's not going to be him and it's going to be Cade Nelson, and then maybe it's not him, and all of a sudden Eli Willits comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was kind of I was blown away that Willits was the number 1 overall pick. Not that he shouldn't have been, but definitely a surprise.
Throw over to first. Camera did not cut for that one, but that will bring an end to the inning. Carolina Prime, though, has struck first. They lead 1-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Leading off for Canes, Virginia is going to be Mandela Broman, and he is our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight, the North Carolina commit, 5'10", 160-pound outfielder, the top-ranked player at his position in Virginia and 3rd overall in the state. Also 38th nationally among all outfielders, boasts a 6.58 in the 60 with exit velos up to 93.80. 2024 future gamer Broman again going to lead off for Canes, Virginia, and cannot wait to see him in action as we get this thing rolling. He'll be followed by John Michael Sheff, and then it's William Tomlinson. As he'll be facing off against Clemson commit Blake Bryant as we head at the bottom of the first inning with Carolina Prime up 1-0. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you, and there is big Blake Bryant, just that whipping action off, man. It's just an absolute flamethrower and a guy that has really built his credentials here on these fields, a guy that we've had here for a very long time, and excited to see him. We didn't a lot of the early tournaments this year in which we had Carolina Prime. Blake Bryant was busy going off on a high school tournament run, but now we finally get him in action and get to see him honing that craft here. Got him fastball up around 93 miles an hour, change up into that 81, 84 range, a curveball that sits 77 to 80, and he's got a good matchup here as we just ran through the credentials of Mandela Broman, and this is about as good as a matchup's going to get on a Saturday morning here at LakePoint Sports.
Yeah, this is great, and Blake Bryant is just so much fun to watch, and you're going to see it right there. Starts off the game 93-1, the elevated fastball, and That is what you can expect out of him for probably a lot of innings to come.
In my dealings with Blake, one of my absolute favorite things about him is that's going to be strike number 2, 93.9 on the edge.
Painted.
Is just the kind of easygoing nature of him. He's just a guy that doesn't get up, doesn't get down. He is just even keel. So that one is flipped back, and Broman meeting this velo, but it's got himself in a hole with 0-2.
That was a funny reaction out of Blake up there. Throws the breaking ball and just kind of like nodded his head like, okay, that's how it's going to be, and we'll see what we get here.
Misses high, count will be 1-2. But Blake's always been able to handle these moments, been able to handle the spotlight. He gets it, and he's a guy that's very composed as that one is popped back, and that will be foul. And Broman doing his part to drive up the pitch count here on this first AB.
Yeah. Probably a good reason there's a couple guys back there with their radar guns and notepads out.
Including Ian Smith, who is directly over the catcher's right shoulder. Start of a crazy run here for Ian, and frankly, all of us here involved in baseball here at LakePoint Sports. I mentioned
it's about to ramp up.
Mentioned during the pregame that we will have this event end Tuesday, 11 a.m. with the championship game. Oh, God, that was disgusting from Blake Bryant, and he left Broman frozen for the strikeout. Man, that was just vicious. You go 93, 93, then you go with the changeup around 82, and then you drop in that vicious breaking ball at 78.5, and that was a masterclass from Bryant first out.
That was amazing. That's what gets you to the GIAA state championship.
Here's John Michael Sheff, Louisiana Lafayette commit. Tries to bunt, but that will go foul. But mention the craziness. We'll have this event will end Tuesday, 11 a.m. championship game. While that's happening, the future games players will be checking in. Wednesday we'll have workout day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday we'll have game day action for the future games, and then we'll go into Sunday for the junior future games championship. And I'm getting an uneasy feeling here watching these breaking balls here for Blake Bryant. 0-2 count here is Sheff.
I mean, that was disgusting.
Here comes with the 0-2.
94.8. Just barely missed on the inside.
So now we gotta trek up the high on the velo end here from Bryant, getting close to 95 miles an hour. Shooter Hunt's told me once they get up to that level, you do not round up. So we're still gonna say 94.8. That's gonna run it even. He's fired up though.
Yeah, he is.
He saw we were broadcasting today, and Blake was ready to roll.
I think we really lucked out here with the pitching because this tournament started on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And obviously today is Saturday. You've got one more day of pool play. It's kind of hard to say, let's throw a guy like Blake Bryant for the second to last game of pool play.
Swing and a
boy,
miss.
Did we luck out.
2 strikeouts. He gets Sheff, swing and a miss. That'll now bring up William Tomlinson. Tomlinson, another Miller School player, 2026, 6'1", 140-pounder, switch hitter. He's going lefty here in this matchup against Bryant. And what's the mentality when you get to the plate and you've watched the way that he's handled the last two guys? You know, you think you're obviously thinking fastball.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing you can do right now is think fastball and just be like, all right, I got to just throw the bat on something.
Well, he goes fastball, dribbler. Shortstop has it, gathers, throws. Oh, it pulled him off the bag. Did he get him?
No,
he did not. All right, he comes off the bag, so Tomlinson's aboard. A bit of a rushed throw there from Chip Hessel at shortstop, trying to get the speedy Tomlinson. So he'll be aboard with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jackson Rosales. Rosales playing right field today. Try to make something happen here with 1 on and 2 down. Rosales, the 14th ranked outfielder in Virginia, 68th overall.
Now we get the chance to see Blake operate with a little bit of pressure, having that runner over there on first base.
See the body mechanics, the body English, though, from him. He's a little, I think he felt like he's done everything he can at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he did exactly what he
runner.
needed to in that at bat.
Comes the 1-0.
Seems as though our camera's not switching back right now.
Yeah, it kind of has a mind of its own today. AI.
It is AI, so
it
functions on its own.
Only wants us to see over his shoulder when it deems it necessary.
Yeah.
2-0 count now to Rosales. If he happens to get aboard, it'll be Ryan Steeper. Now 3-0 as Brian's a little bit of a change here as he's gone to the stretch. We always talk about what variations we're going to see from a guy when he goes to the stretch. Is the comfort level the same? Pumps that in for a strike, 92.5, getting his groove back.
You like to see that he's sitting right now, somewhere from 92 to 94. Getting close. He hasn't quite hit 95 yet, but he pushed it a couple times.
So he issues a walk with 2 down. Here comes Ryan Steeper. Catcher going out to a couple words here with Brian, see if Colby Tatter can get him back on track. He was absolutely dominant through those first 2 batters, and then just soft contact, 61 miles an hour, and his shortstop just couldn't get the throw there in time, and all of a sudden, complexity of this inning has changed with 2 down.
It's definitely a situation that could throw you off a little bit, thinking your inning's over, you're going to head off the field, and then a throwing error with 2 outs. That's a great pitch right there. Glad that we got that angle for that one.
Steeper from St. Anne's Belfield School in Virginia. He's the third-ranked second baseman in the state. Brian taking a long time here.
Really trying to take everything in. There's another great breaking ball.
Back-to-back breaking balls out of him. We saw real fastball-heavy diets through those first couple batters. I would anticipate we get him trying to blow one past him, 90-plus right now for the inning K. Let's see what Brian's got in store. Goes back to it again. That one's popped up.
He's confident this time.
Yeah, his second baseman has it in traffic, and that'll bring it into the inning. Carolina Prime holds on. They lead 1-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Sale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 Grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back to our action. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. Naomi Ryan is back on the mound for Canes, Virginia.
It's a great pitch to open things up right there.
She's got Caden Ridge Nance, followed by Seth Seuss and Chip Hetzel. Carolina Prime up 1-0. Ryan misses, runs the count to 1-1. Make that 2-1.
Some close miss right there. really like the way she's operated on the mound so far. It's all very smooth. Doesn't feel like she's really forcing anything. See if she can keep the velo up. It does seem like there's been a subtle tick down.
That one is put in play, but again, our camera didn't react
Looks like
that
it went
time.
foul.
So
It's the signal from the umpire.
typically our camera's a little bit more reliable
Yeah.
than this, but we're not getting quite the same reaction time here. So count is full to Nance. Vidalia, second baseman. He's the third-ranked player at his position in Georgia, 98th overall. Runs a 6.9 360. He's got a full count here against Naomi Ryan. Shoots that one back foul.
It seems like we haven't seen much variation when it comes to the pitch types, but she's really good about where she's putting it in the zone based on kind of what she's trying to achieve.
That's a rocket. Goes foul at 83 miles an hour. To kind of go back to her, at least what we have on the pitch profile for her, we've got her with a fastball around 82. The changeup's at 68 to 74, and she's got a curveball in the 66 to 69 range. But as you mentioned, we haven't seen a lot of the breaking stuff out of her so far.
Yeah, it's really just been fastballs. Can't really see the movement on a left-handed fastball from this camera angle, but I would assume there's certainly something there.
One goes foul, and battle continues. She's now thrown 31 pitches as we sit here in the second inning.
Yeah, I feel like now is where you move that pitch location more towards the outside. You've gone inside, and he kind of took it well off the hands, and then that one fouled it off.
This one's a rocket, 90.5, and that's going to go dribbling into right center for a base hit. So a leadoff single from Caden Ridge Nance will bring up Seth Seuss, the first baseman.
I think Ridge Nance right there just recognized exactly what I recognized, which was come inside 2 pitches in a row and then put something out over the heart of the plate and just jump on it.
Seth Seuss is a cat in a hat with a bat as he steps in, the runner at first. I'm sure he's heard them all at this point.
Probably, yeah. I don't think you can really just get away unscathed with a last name like Seuss. Well, there's a good piece of hitting.
He drops that. That's the mirror image there of what Nance was able to do.
Yeah, I think that's something that the rest of the lineup for Carolina Prime can recognize is you can jump on the first pitch. You're not really expecting to see much movement, so if it's there, it's there, and just take a shot at it.
2 aboard for Chip Hetzel, Hilton Head Christian.
Thing I immediately recognize right now is you want to put something on the right side of the field. That wide gap at second and first, and then just a lot of free real estate out there in right. That is one nice thing about this angle.
Yeah.
You can really see how guys are lined up.
Comes a 1-0 to Hetzel. Another miss inside makes it 2-0.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if Hetzel does try to lay something down here. But on 2-0, maybe feeling a green light.
Ryan delivers, shows bunt. That's going to be strike 1.
See what Ryan's got for him.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. Shows bunt again. Count will be 3-1.
See if Hetzel can try to make up for that defensive mistake he made there in the bottom of the first and get himself on base and maybe load the bases here or bring some in.
Fouls that bunt attempt off, and count will be even. We're talking a little bit about the draft earlier. The Atlanta Braves getting some familiar names to us.
Yeah.
Connor Essenberg.
Yeah, very excited about that.
Briggs McKenzie, Prep Baseball All-American.
Briggs
lefty.
McKenzie got paid. I don't know if you saw the reported number, but what I saw was about 1.7 higher than his slot value. get the tag there at first on a little bit of an errant throw, but good work defensively to get the first out in the inning.
Runners both advanced, though, so Carolina Prime 90 feet closer to their second run as Slade Sweat, the left fielder, will step in. Yeah, also getting Tate Southacene of the Southacene legacy there. You got Ty, you got Troy, just on and on with those guys who have come here representing the state of Nevada in the prep baseball feature games time and time again. But a lot of shortstops, very shortstop heavy draft for the Braves, but a lot of names very, very familiar for us, and really excited for Connor Essenberg. I texted Connor that night and told him congratulations, and he basically just said, "Let's go," all in exclamation points after. So he is fired up. Already saw he's posting photos of himself with a Braves hat on. So he's rocked and ready to roll as an Atlanta Brave.
Yeah, and I can't blame him. We've seen him put on a show in Atlanta before.
Yeah, he has had some monster moments here on these fields.
Let's see if we can get a good moment here with runners in scoring position.
Slade Sweat goes down the left side. Foul. Count is 0-2.
This could be a huge breakthrough offensive moment for Carolina Prime if they're able to bring these runners around.
See if Sweat can cash in.
Weak contact.
Pops that. Is it going to drop down? Well, nearly had a collision. Broman catches it.
Okay.
Runner will stay at third.
Was
not going to test the arm of the North Carolina commit in center field.
Probably a good idea. I think that was a little too shallow to be tagging up for, and based on that throw, he'd have been gunned.
If you would have told me back in April that Jack Ryan, who we had, Jack Ryan got drafted later in the draft.
Yeah.
Another guy named after a action hero, Jack Bauer. If you would have told me Jack Bauer was not going to get drafted, I would have been stunned. But certainly, talking to his parents at the end of the spring break experience, they were told you need to have a number and you need to stick with it. And I think that's what we saw play out. And it's kind of, I think the biggest thing you can look at the MLB draft and what we just saw unfold, swing and a miss there, is that no one knows anything.
No.
Like, as much as you want to know, unlike any other draft, you can have an idea of how you think the guy should sort out for that.
Yeah.
But you have no clue what someone's going to be willing to accept, how much overslot, underslot a team's going to try to go. It's absolutely confounding. I think it's almost, you can almost say it's damning to what the MLB draft is, that they don't have that set structure based off each pick, that they can manipulate the system like that.
Yeah, you think so. And then also there's so much like precedent for a guy like I mentioned with Briggs McKenzie, got significantly higher, reportedly, of course, significantly higher than his slot value. His slot value was, I think, just below $900,000, and I want to say the number I saw was near $2 million.
Yeah.
So just because you don't go in the first two rounds, just because you don't go in the first round, doesn't mean you're not going to get treated as such.
Ooh, swing and a miss. That runs the count.
Great
3 and
pitch
2
on the outside.
But I think it almost speaks to like what the biggest problem with that draft. Like, you should be able to know as a first round draft pick, okay, I'm the 4th overall pick. This is the money for that pick.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for a Jack Bauer, if you have a number and teams maybe have some question marks as we see a walk that's going to run the bases loaded, maybe teams don't want to invest as much as they would on you in a typical first round pick. The guy's going to go to Mississippi State and be an absolute star. I mean,
exactly.
That's undeniable. But I think the fact that we talk about Eli Willits going number 1 then speaks to, like, well, we just had a year of guys breaking down this draft trying to figure out who should be number 1. It more so than anything, it's not just a crapshoot. It's a chess game as these teams try to figure out, well, if we don't go with this guy here, maybe we can move some money and put him down into this pick a little bit further in the draft. And I don't know. It just makes it a little frustrating to watch. I mean,
it is for sure. And I think the other part is that mix of high school and college talent together is something you don't get in the NFL. You don't get in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
So it really changes how you have to look at things. And when you're assessing the draft prior, how difficult it really is to get an idea of where guys are going to go. Because like a guy like Ty Peoples, he probably kind of a similar thing to Jack Bauer, where he probably had a number in mind, and he said, this is the number I want.
Yeah.
If you're not going to give me that number, don't take me, and nobody took him.
Number 1 outfielder in the nation out of Franklin County,
Yeah.
and I mean he ends up going in the 19th round. I mean but that's just basically a
might
flyer.
as well not go.
Yeah. I mean, a team might as well just put the phone down and make their pick, knowing you're going to take that guy. We've got Billy Wagner out there currently having a conversation with Naomi Ryan with the bases loaded, a 2-0 count here to Slade Bird.
Man, that's got to be a nice boost of confidence. Standing up on the mound like, all right, I've got a guy about to go into the Hall of Fame standing in front of me. I think.
And I asked
I
asked him about his coaching style and whether or not was it influenced by guys like Charlie Manuel and Bobby Cox that you played for. Yeah. And he kind of said, I kind of have tried to create my own version of it, and I try to, not talk to the guys like, hey, I'm a Hall of Famer. Like I try to, have this respect for him, let them kind of find their way. But he's kind of got that mix of being coach and dad that he has to deal with as well with his son Kaysen on this team. But again, a lot of these players are on the squad with him for the Miller School, so a lot of familiarity that stretches well beyond the travel season. Yeah,
Slade Bird really ready in the box right there, was already ready to go when the Rosen bag was getting picked up.
We're ready to cash in, bases loaded. Count is now 3-1. Tyler Van Summeren, who crossed the plate for the game's first run, is in the on-deck circle. We got 2 down, and Carolina Prime up 1-0, looking to build on that here in the top of the second.
Let's see if the Georgia Southern commit can come through big with bases loaded.
Bird will draw a walk. Here comes the second run across the plate for Carolina Prime, and Tyler Van Summeren now steps in. Same story, bases loaded, 2 outs. Of course, the Derby, the All-Star Game, the draft, all part of the festivities that we had here in Atlanta. The end of the All-Star Game was
it was outstanding.
It
was hard
moment.
to root for a Philly, I'll admit, but I'm just glad it didn't get to Pete Alonso. That's because that's where I draw the line. I refuse to root for him, but I can root for Kyle Schwarber.
1-0 count here to Van Summeren.
Weak contact there.
Yeah, second base has it, throws in time, and they get out of the jam. Naomi Ryan leaves the bases loaded, but Carolina Prime, it did get 1 run off a walk. They lead 2-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tella's Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Football and probably okay.
I'd be the best golf player to ever live.
I'd probably play football, tight end, or I'd be the best Clash Royale player.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast. All while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back. Cody Peck, Dylan O'Connor, and Jacob Eckhart will be at the plate for Cairns, Virginia as they try to answer this 2-0 lead from Carolina Prime. Blake Bryant, the Clemson commit, back on the mound. He was locked in during that first inning, saw him strike out the first 2 batters, and then a little bit of an issue there. Yeah. Things kind of got away from him. Wasn't necessarily his fault, but an error and then a walk, and he was able to respond. But certainly a little more comfort that we've seen out of him from the windup. So he will be, of course, back to the windup here as he faces Cody Peck to start off the second.
Yeah, and I think a big thing to watch here is that there was an extended break there for him. That was a pretty long top of the second, but it only warded 1 more run. So he's still only pitching with a 2-run lead now. It's not like it's some big blowout and he had that extended leave because they put 5 more runs up on the board. So he's still going to be pitching with that similar pressure to his first inning, but just off that extended break.
Well, so far we've seen Bryant up to 94.8 with the fastball as he gets a swing and miss there.
That breaking ball, and I think the fact that he can pump it up to, what we've seen is 94.8. The fact that he can do that and then bring it down to 80 miles an hour or lower on a breaking ball makes it just 10 times more scary. And there it is again. And yes, he did go, and that's another strikeout for Bryant.
3 strikeouts for Blake Bryant here. Now he'll get Dylan O'Connor. O'Connor, the DH for Ryan.
And Blake Bryant certainly showing off, number 15 right-handed pitcher in the nation.
Striking the outside.
Just effortless when it comes to the placement, too, and the control. I mean, we haven't really seen him miss by much when he has missed.
Working quickly as well. Swing and a miss. Count quickly 0-2 here to O'Connor. This is a big kind of tournament here for O'Connor. He was previously a JMU commit, but reopened his commitment. He's the 25th ranked right-handed pitcher in Virginia, 71st overall. So guy will be, was it the 2024 Senior Feature Games. So we'll see what's in store for him coming up here, but still trying to find his next destination, and that next destination for the moment will be the bench as he goes down on strikes. The second strikeout of the inning for Blake Bryant, who very quickly has 4 Ks.
Yeah, he's rolling right now. Gotten himself to this position before. Strike out the first 2 batters and then see what ensues. Right now, really feeling himself with the breaking ball. There's a fastball on the outside.
Ooh. Good strike 1 here to Eckhart.
The control is the amazing part. Yes, we've seen the velo go down maybe, a mile an hour or 2 here going into the second inning of work, but this is probably a more sustainable speed, probably a speed that you could see him go the whole game at, and not drop much below 90. But when you pair it with that right there, it doesn't matter. He could be throwing an 85-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah.
If you're throwing a breaking ball that has that shape and it's just so perfectly placed, it doesn't change a thing.
Comes the 1-2. Drops it in. Has him absolutely on it. Elsa frozen. Man, another strikeout for Blake Bryant, and he has put on a master class. He's got 5 Ks. We're through 2 from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
I was 12 years old at Cooperstown, and my mom said if I hit a home run in Cooperstown, I could get a phone. And on the final game, I hit a bomb over left field, and I got a new phone.
I've never hit a home run up to that point. It was 14U, really small field. I wasn't hitting anything, and I finally poked one out, barely.
My first home run was 8U at Eastside. I think I was on the worst team in the whole league, and then hit the home run, and we kind of turned the season around.
Ben Fussell at the plate. He'll be followed by Roman Colella and Colby Tatter. Carolina Prime leads 2-0 over Cairns, Virginia. Naomi Ryan out for her 3rd inning of work. That last pitch, 78.5.
Yeah, that is a number you like to see out there. I mean, that's kind of where the velo's been the whole time. We saw a little bit of it slowing down as that inning wore on in the second, but comes out in the third and is firing.
Walked in a run in the second. Counts here 3-0 to Fussell. Ryan ready to go. See if she can get back into this AB. Gets a strike in the outside, going to where Blake Bryant's been living.
Yeah, such a huge contrast between the two pitchers in this game, but Naomi Ryan certainly not having any issues keeping up.
Swing and a miss. That was pretty good, great pitch right there.
Yeah, it feels like she doesn't really have alternate pitches that she's throwing, but she's kind of changing the shape of her fastball and manipulating the positioning enough to make things difficult.
Fussell jumps on that one, 90.3 off his bat. That one is headed into right field, going to bounce off the wall. Ben Fussell's going to have extra bases, and he's going to hold at second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, that is exactly what Fussell is so good at, is just waiting on the pitch that he likes. And in that at bat, he did exactly that. Was super patient, just waiting on something to get, and sends that one opposite field.
So Roman Colella with a runner in scoring position.
Fussell's got some speed. Didn't even really have to put it on display there much, but he's got some speed, so don't be surprised if he finds his way around if something goes to the outfield.
He runs a 6.8 260, so Colella puts one in play. He can easily score from second. Shows bunt, and that one's going foul.
I think that pitch just came in a little bit too high to be trying to throw a bunt down on it.
Five hits thus far for Carolina Prime. Fussell at second, Colella at the plate. One misses to run the count even. We were talking all-star game in the home run derby part 2 that ended the game. You don't want to say scripted, right? Like,
I don't think so. Jonathan Aranda was a crazy pick, though, to be thrown into a swing off.
Well, the mere fact that they even got it to the swing off.
Yeah, that part is insane.
You felt like the NL was in complete control.
Yeah.
And then when it got to 6-4, there was a comment made on the broadcast that, oh, they even this up, something's coming. And then you heard the announcer say, you heard the PA announcer say, if this one goes, if this can end in a tie.
Yeah.
And then it's like they surprised everybody by having the. So it seems kind of weird.
It is a little weird. And
I'm not saying it's scripted, but
funny that they mentioned that John Smoltz participated in the only All-Star game that has ended in a tie.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that day. I remember everybody was just like, Bud Selig, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there should have been something there.
Well, obviously it changed the dynamics of how the rosters are used. A couple of years after that, I was at the one in Cincinnati, and Shelby Miller was the representative for the Braves. He didn't even get in the game because they had to hold pitchers back in case it ends up going extra innings. Don't tell him that, because you make it to the All-Star game and don't get to play. That's about
he was so good that year.
Oh, that one is roped. Nice job at second base, getting it to third in time for the out. Some absolutely heads-up baseball by John Michael Sheff at shortstop. That was some high baseball acumen to get the lead runner, because that would have been a tough throw to try to get him at first base.
Yeah.
Now one down with the runner at first.
Yeah, and if you try to go to first base, if you have any issues there, Fussell's got the speed to make you think about something going home. Seemed like Coach over there at third base wasn't necessarily happy with the call. It was a relatively late pull down on the tag, but I think he was out there at third.
Now it's Colby Tatter.
Kind of resets the clock here for Naomi Ryan on the mound. Really helps you out, getting that runner out of scoring position, and you put your first out up on the board.
I mean, I know Carolina Prime's up 2-0, but we've seen some really good defensive play behind her. I mean, you think about Mandela Broman making that catch in really shallow center field and able to come up to a point where they weren't even going to test his arm at third base, because that was a tough catch on the run. I mean, a guy, if he would have had to go down to make the catch at all, but obviously his speed, able to cut that down without having to go to the ground and stop them, but eventually scoring that inning. But we've still seen some really strong defensive play, and that was another instance there at shortstop.
Yeah, I think the best part is that not only are they making those big plays, but they're staying consistent with everything else that's going on. And that's always a huge factor in just keeping yourselves in a game.
Tatter puts the 0-2 in play, and that one's going to get away from
fast.
the first baseman's glove, so we'll have runners at first and second. But that right there is an instance of that play at third stopping Carolina Prime from adding a third run.
Yeah, that's huge right there.
Ball on the field from another field of play.
That one caught a lot of camera there.
Sure did. An unavoidable part of baseball here at LakePoint Sports is those balls coming on the field, and that's one of the best things about the championship games is we never have to worry about any other games going on.
It is nice.
We'll, of course, be back Tuesday at 11 a.m. for the 17U championship game, see if either of these squads are in action for that one.
Well, that was a nice bunt right
fantastic
there.
bunt.
Wow.
Wow, they're going to have the bases loaded. What a awesome job,
beautiful.
man. Yeah, that was some great work there from Caden Ridge Nance.
Wow.
So Seth Seuss, bases juiced.
I can understand when people complain about bunting and whatever. It's not fun, but like that was outstanding. You can't knock what just happened, right?
Yeah. So Seth Seuss, bases juiced, cut him loose.
Okay.
Coming correct with the rhymes here for Seth Seuss, but he's got a chance to build on this 2-0 lead. That's a strike from Ryan.
Big opportunity here for Carolina Prime. You know that Cairns, Virginia has the offense, and obviously you've got the pitching to hold yourselves in a good spot, but giving Blake Bryan a little bit more run support is going to make everybody a little bit more comfortable.
Third time that Carolina Prime has had the bases loaded against Ryan here through the first 3 innings. They've only been able to get 1 run off those instances so far. Let's see if they can change that with Seuss at the plate and 1 down. Oh, gets them to bite on that. Counts now 1-2. So you're going to the rosin bag. It's not as humid, certainly, as it will be later today. Still, obviously, July in Atlanta.
It feels kind of nice right
Swing and a miss, and Seuss goes down on strikes, and she did a great job of changing eye levels.
Yes.
She gets him to swing and a miss on the previous pitch and then goes elevated to get the strikeout.
Yeah, and I thought she had a rosin bag. That's just a towel.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah, like I had mentioned earlier, it's not that she's changing pitches, but she's just throwing great sequences right now to try and throw off the hitter. And that was her first strikeout of the game in a huge spot for it.
Well, I mean, we talk about Braves Hall of Famers and Billy Wagner, another one. Greg Maddux made a career out of changing eye levels and just taking a little bit off of pitches and taking guys out of their comfort zone. And we're seeing Naomi Ryan kind of follow suit here. It doesn't have to be 90-plus as we see from Blake Bryan, but if you take a guy out of his comfort zone, you go low, you go high, you just take a little bit off of a pitch. We're seeing somebody who can't match that velo, really kind of having some big moments here and searching for another one. Carolina Prime had the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched Kyle Hendricks beat a fair share of flamethrowers.
Well, Jamie Moyer spent 20 years in the majors doing that exact same thing, and that one is in play. That's going to be an easy step on third to bring it into the inning. Carolina Prime leaves the bases loaded, and they're going to want that moment back. They lead 2-0, though, as we march along in the 17U National Championship.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Welcome back. Brendan Shadlack at the plate for Canes, Virginia, and he'll be followed by Danny Kim, and then it's back to the top of the order in Mandela Brown. And this Canes, Virginia lineup has had its work cut out for them against flame-throwing Clemson commit Blake Bryant, and he is back out here for the third. Already 5 strikeouts.
He opens it up with some heat right there, swing and a miss on 91.
2 base runners thus far, 1 off an error, 1 off a walk. Swing, miss, strike number 2.
Goodness. That breaking ball is such a great compliment to his fastball. It's unbelievable.
Well, here he comes with the 0-2 to Shadlack. Misses high. If you were to ask Blake Bryant what's working right now, he would say everything.
Yeah, literally everything is working right now for Blake Bryant. He's moving fast, and wow.
Drop third, and first baseman will have it, but I think he went off. And I thought that it looked like drop third, but it looked like runner indifference.
Maybe.
Looked like it sort of bounced, but I think he threw it to first thinking it was a drop third. Nonetheless, we're back to Danny Kim now, and his first pitch is going to second baseman, throws in time. He's got some speed. That gets away from the first baseman, so we're going to have 2 errors now will result in 2 of the 3 base runners for Canes, Virginia. Let's see if they could take advantage there. A little bit of a, I don't know if it's a rushed throw, a nonchalant throw, how you want to categorize that, but it got away from the first baseman, and with 1 out, Blake Bryant's back to the stretch, and the top of the order is now up in Mandela Broman.
Yeah, and I think that was the perfect opportunity to swing on the first pitch against Blake Bryant. We haven't seen any pitches come in that 84 range, so it just seemed like he kind of put something out over the plate for Kim, and he jumped on it.
Well, chance for Canes, Virginia to cash in because, again, 6 strikeouts thus far for Bryant. He's not allowed to hit. Until now, Broman jumps on that 92.2 off the bat, and he's taken off on his way into second base. Is a run going to cross for Canes, Virginia? In fact, they do have one. Our camera didn't cut out in time, but Mandela Broman's got himself an RBI double, and he just jumped on that 92.2 off his bat for the first hit of the game for Canes, Virginia.
Yeah, that was absolutely massive right there for Mandela Broman. What a great piece of hitting.
He roped that into the left field corner and had extra bases, and now John Michael Sheff steps in with Broman at second. Now 2-1 game.
Yeah, and this is the part of the lineup that you kind of expect something from. They started off, these 2 both striking out in their first at-bats, but a good start for Broman, and we'll see what sets up for Sheff. Now we kind of get to see Blake Bryant try and pitch out of a bad situation, which we haven't really seen much of. We saw things get a little bit sticky there in the first, but certainly some uncharted territory in this one. See what he brings on 0-1.
Sheff awaits, sends that one foul.
I think when you have seen how that breaking ball has worked out for you, that's got to be what's in the back of Sheff's mind right now, stepping in the box at 0-2. That is exactly what he sees. He jumps on it.
83.9. That one's going to down the left side. And
he caught it.
Caught it. Broman's going to make his way back to second. Our camera didn't. Oh, they doubled him up. So they double up Broman, get out of trouble. But Canes, Virginia is on the board. Carolina Prime leads 2-1 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Our LakePoint Sports photographers deliver at the highest level, taking you inside the action here across campus. We've got game day covered, and now you can not only see your game through our lens, but you can purchase photos as well. Use that QR code on screen for the latest images with galleries uploaded after the completion of tournaments and events. You can also go to LakePointSports.com or any of our social channels for more information. Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. A pitching change for Canes, Virginia. Saw Naomi Ryan go 3 innings. She allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout.
And that looks like number 51 would be Lorenzo Caffarillo, if I had to guess on the pronunciation there.
Well, Lorenzo, another Miller School product. Again, the team that Billy Wagner coaches, a bit of a whip, 3-quarter action here from Caffarillo.
Yeah.
Caffarillo. Need a little more caffeine to get Caffarillo in check here. But we've got him with a fastball around 86. Changeup 70 to 72. Curveball 68 miles an hour. Slider 74 to 76. And that is a absolute wicked arm angle. And after watching Ryan sit around 74, 75, if he gets into that mid-80 range that the profile talks about, you're having a fastball that looks like it's close to 100.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Well, it'll be Slade Sweat to start off the inning, followed by Jeremiah Alford in the top of the order with Slade Bird. Righty to start things off. I mean, this ball is probably going to look like it's going to hit you and then cut across the plate.
Or it's going to be over the plate and then it's going to hit you.
Yeah, really loads up on the left side of the rubber.
Yeah. I think with this kind of style, you certainly favor things getting to the right. That's a great breaking ball. From that arm angle as well, to get that movement, that's really tricky when you pair it with a fastball. It's certainly going to get some arm side movement. Goes breaking ball again.
So the count here is 1-1 on these first pitches from Caffarillo. Comes the 1-1. Spikes that one at 79.
It's kind of the game you have to play when you're working with an arm angle and release like that. Is there will be errant pitches. That will happen. You just have to limit them as much as possible.
There he comes to the 2-1. Another miss. Count will now be 3-1. Have to say, Naomi Ryan was an absolute treat to watch.
Yes.
Loved the composure, loved the grit, the determination, whatever you want to call it. She was not phased against a really good lineup.
Yeah, I mean,
more than held her own.
In her final inning of work, had bases loaded, didn't give up a run with just 1 out and bases loaded.
That one is roped. But that'll be out number 1 as it's caught in left field in the glove of Danny Kim.
A big reason why Canes, Virginia is only down by 1 run right now is solid defense that has just stayed consistent throughout every inning in this game.
This is Jeremiah Alford.
That one just misses.
Alford, first baseman, outfielder, extra hitter today for Carolina Prime out of Ashley Ridge, South Carolina.
Drew a walk in his first at bat.
He's got a 1-0 count here against Caffarillo. Swings through that. Now, this has to be a really interesting look because we talked about if you're the right-handed batter and it looks like it's coming in on you from this side, it's got to look like it might end up hitting you right in the midsection.
Yeah, and it's incredibly different from the look you were getting off of Naomi Ryan. Left side, a little bit more just fastball in a traditional arm angle in the high 70s. Now you're looking at kind of low 70s, mid 70s, and it's pretty well all going to come out of an entirely different slot.
Here's the 1-2. Spikes that. Count will be even.
I think from this release point, it's almost natural that he's going to go to that breaking ball a lot. You're going to see a lot of breaking ball usage when you're coming from that arm angle, but you have to pair it well. You can't just stick with it.
Misses badly arm sides. The count will be full.
Yeah, control will be the question while he's on the mound.
We've seen 7 hits to this point for Carolina Prime, 1 for Cairns, Virginia. That, of course, the RBI double for Mandela Broman. That one is popped up. Third base camps underneath it, just out of the view of our camera, but he does catch it for the second out.
Speaking of third base, that catch that Nacho Alvarez made last night.
Looked like it hurt. It definitely looked like it hurt. On the run, just came sprinting across and ran right in front of Jurickson Profar for the Braves and able to make that catch.
And it wasn't even the best play of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Ronald Acuna made one of the most impressive throws maybe ever. Flat-footed 180. Beams him at third. Crazy to not slide. That's on the third base coach.
Slade Burr back up for the third time. I think this is the season where you say Acuna is an elite defensive player.
He is.
And
he's always had the arm.
But I don't think that's necessarily been part of the conversation to this point.
No, it hasn't.
You know, I think we watched him early on, and it was like, okay, some people questioned. At first, we were all in awe of the skill set.
Yes.
Then I think some people had some question marks about the mental makeup because there obvious things happened and running things out and all that. And then it was, is he going to stay healthy? And now that he's back and he's playing at a high level offensively, now we can have that conversation about this is a 5-tool guy. This is not just a guy who can get it done at the plate. The skills defensively are elite as well.
As soon as he left center field, I think that the defense started showing up a lot more. And, you know, you get the, monthly runner thrown out at second, trying to stretch out a double or whatnot. But when you see the throws like that, and you know that is a regular thing in his game, like Fernando Tatis made a great play out in right field, but he caught it on the run, stopped, like crow hop, got the runner out at third base from, like, shallow right field. Ronald Acuna was near the foul pole. Yeah. Standing with his back to third base when he made that catch and just flipped around and tossed one to third.
Caffarillo's pitch gets away from the catcher. Runner will advance. Got Tyler Van Summeren at the plate for the third time.
Like, that was one of those plays that, like, you've only ever seen, like, black and white footage of, like, Roberto Clemente doing.
Well, I think you mentioned him moving out of center. I think the Braves made a huge mistake with Ender Inciarte in the contract and had to wait until they had Michael Harris II in place to have that real answer in center field to be able to move Acuna out of center. But now we're seeing him thriving in right field, and certainly everyone here in the Atlanta area and Braves country happy to have him back healthy and playing at an extremely high level. 2-0 count here. Van Summeren. Slade Bird at second base, advanced off the wild pitch.
And on that Nacho Alvarez catch we were talking about, I think the number that I saw was 113 feet.
Yeah.
That he covered. Just unreal. And up against the tarp, too.
I didn't check StatCast to see the catch probability on it. I'm not sure how much they do catch probability on foul balls.
I'm not sure.
We need AWS here on the LakePoint Sports campus, so we could get. Could you imagine some of the stuff that we would? I mean, it would be a lot of fun to be able to take it to that level.
Like, look, I'm a huge nerd when it comes to watching baseball, but like, I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I had those numbers here.
All right, issues a walk here to Van Sumeren. So runners at first and second with Ben Fussell stepping in. Seeing Caffarillo we've seen some great moments from him, but control has been something he's been seeking early on in this relief appearance, taking over for Naomi Ryan. He's searching for the catch probability.
I don't know if they even have it on these game day options.
Fussell is 1 for 2, trying to cash in again. Runners at first and second. Wagner coming out to have a talk here with Caffarillo. We're seeing the same thing with Naomi Ryan, really going to that towel. So as much as it doesn't feel human here at the moment, in Emerson, Georgia, certainly it's the sweat's becoming an issue for the Canes, Virginia pitchers here early on. Maybe Blake Bryant, being from Georgia, just doesn't bother him.
No.
These Virginia kids coming down here, and they're just, it's a little humid for them. All right, runners at first and second now. 1-0 count here to Fussell, the Mercer commit. Exit velos are on 99 miles an hour for the 2022 junior feature gamer. See if he can jump on one, or if Caffarillo can reel it in. He gets strike one there.
It's a great pitch to open things up with. Really got to manipulate the view and putting something on the outside half.
Tries to go back to it, misses there. So count will now be 2-1. Again, there's some really spectacular defense has helped keep Canes, Virginia in. Carolina Prime has put the ball in play over and over again. They have 7 hits. Two count here to Fussell. If he gets aboard, it'll be Roman Colella, the DH. Another long layoff of an inning here for Blake Bryant. That one is skied foul.
The double steal going.
I couldn't see there in camouflage.
Certainly the crew that you want on base for
Yeah.
a double steal. I mean, a hit and run scenario with these three.
I like the South Carolina flag in the front of the uniforms there with the Carolina Prime
I like
logo
these
up in the
uniforms.
corner. Yeah, that's a good look.
It's a nice change. It's a nice change from the orange.
Well, I think we just got so accustomed to seeing
Yeah.
these teams showing up in certain colors, certain looks. Comes a 2-2 to Fussell. Another miss. This one glove side. Count will be full.
Now, if they load the bases again.
Well, they've had it loaded 3 times thus far, and they have just gotten 1 run off those situations.
This would be the second time they load them with 2 outs if they do so.
Caffarillo does that. I think he thought he had the inning-ending strikeout, but instead it'll be a 2-out walk, so the bases are going to be loaded for Roman Colella.
That's good work right there by Ben Fussell. That was just an outstanding at-bat all the way through. And just being patient on that last one and being confident in your decisions.
Colella responsible for 1 of the 2 RBI for Carolina Prime. Going to add on that here. The bases loaded and 2 outs.
Caffarillo pushing that 80 mark there. Seems like he's reeled it back a little bit on bringing the breaking ball so often, but there's one right there.
Ooh,
Misses.
nice job defensively. Again, great defensive work. Catcher's able to stop that. That goes back to the backstop, and Slade Bird scoring.
I'm sure somebody in the dugout for Carolina Prime just let out a good wear it.
It's easy to say when you're watching it from 50 feet away.
Yeah, not when it hits you in the ear hole.
Miss high. Counts 2-1. So the 4th time that Carolina Prime has loaded the bases. That's a strike. Count will be even.
This would be big if Colella can come through again.
Cafferillo on the 2-2. Oh, just misses on that. Count will now be full.
So these guys are going to be running on the pitch with this kind of speed on the base paths right now. If Colella puts something in play, you might be seeing 2 runs, maybe even 3, depending on where it lands. Oh,
a wild pitch. Run comes across as Berg crosses the plate. Bases still loaded.
You saw Van Summeren kind of pick up the speed for just a second, just in case there was a bad bounce off the backstop.
Now to be Kennesaw State commit Colby Tatter.
Trying to knock in his fellow Kennesaw State commit over there at third. Really just a tour of Georgia universities here that we've seen with Fussell at second, heading to Mercer, and Slade Bird scoring that first run, heading to Georgia Southern. Reed Gannis is on the roster. He's not playing in this game, but a Georgia Tech commit.
Counts 1-1 here to Tatter. Yeah, who are we missing? We're missing Georgia State, missing obviously Georgia.
Georgia Highlands.
That's right. Here's the 1-1. Wild pitch. Comes a run across. Van Summeren scores for the 2nd time today to make it 3-1. Well, actually 4-1. That's 4-1.
And we mentioned it earlier in this inning. With Cafferillo on the mound, it's going to happen. The errant pitches are going to happen with this kind of delivery, and you just wish it didn't happen in a scenario like that.
So now runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, misses as well. Seems like the misses are coming in a little more often now. They're going to have to pull some things together if they want to get out of this jam. I mean, they have 2 outs, but things not moving in their direction right now.
Another miss, another walk, so bases loaded again. This will be 6 times they've now had the bases loaded.
They're going to have a meeting of the minds here.
Well, Carolina Prime will now look to Caden Ridge Nance with the bases loaded.
Coach not going to come out. Billy Wagner going to keep his thoughts to himself.
Well, I know the scoreboard says 4-1, but 6 times they've had the bases loaded. 2 times off walks and 1 off a wild pitch has been 3 of those runs. So they haven't exactly inflicted a ton of damage off those situations, but certainly been given some gifts within those.
Yeah, it's Carolina Prime's kind of been missing on the 2-out hitting throughout this game, and it's showing. I mean, yes, they have 4 runs, but it's more the scenarios like this that have caused the problems for Cairns, Virginia.
Yep, another situation there with the bases loaded in a wild pitch.
This has been a really long layoff for Blake Bryant, who we would expect to continue his day.
All right, so now you're getting into that situation, though.
Yeah.
If you're Carolina Prime and you have the expectation that you might play on Tuesday, and you're up 4 runs,
it's a hard call to
Blake
make.
Bryant days. If you were on the bench for Carolina Prime right now, what would those conversations be?
I think it's really just about how is he feeling. Does he feel like he needs to keep going? Does the coaching staff feel like, okay, pitching wise, we need you to keep going. We're not comfortable with a 4-run lead. But I think as well, that there is the chance. But why, honestly, why waste it? I mean, why waste an outing of one of the top pitchers in the nation just because you took a good lead and he got a break. I mean, let him go out there and dominate.
But wouldn't you like to have him with a chance that maybe you go on that run?
But what changes if they get bounced in the first round
That's
and then
true.
you just don't get to see the full Blake Bryan experience? Don't rob us of that.
Another walk. It's now 7 times the bases have been loaded.
I'll tell you this much. A couple guys behind the plate are going to pack things up if Blake Bryan doesn't walk out after this inning. Find somebody else to watch. See if they can maybe catch East Cobb Astros out here somewhere.
A pat to Seth Seuss as he grabs his bat. You have to rhyme things, at least something.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't be doing my due diligence here if I didn't. He's got the bases loaded with 2 outs. Miss inside. Seuss is 0 for 2. Excuse me, 1 for 2. Not giving him his love here. 7 hits for Carolina Prime. We got 5 runs on the board, lead here in the top of the 4th. 2-0 count now to Seuss. Another wild pitch. Here comes another run as the throw will not be in time. Makes it 6-1.
Yeah, I think things may not get any better for Cafferillo on the mound at the moment. Just the control is not there.
Count is 3-0. Miss inside. Bases will again be loaded. Make that 8 times. Wagner coming out, and that'll be the end of the day for Cafferillo. His day is over. We're going to have a new pitcher for Canes, Virginia. We'll tell you all about that new arm when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
We are back. The new pitcher for Canes, Virginia comes in from center field. This is North Carolina commit Mandela Broman. He's got Chip Hetzel at the plate, the shortstop. Broman pumps that in for a strike.
Very interesting movement up there on the mound.
Broman came in from center field, and number 1 ranked outfielder in Virginia. He's 38th in the nation at his position. That one is skied into right field. Can anybody make a play on it? Was that a catch? Oh, man, what an unbelievable catch at second base. And, man, what an absolute effort from Jacob Eckhart to bring it into the inning. That was all kinds of trouble if that drops down. But, man, what a fantastic play. And more really great defense from Canes, Virginia. Wow.
Oh, man.
That was
amazing.
Unbelievable. Carolina Prime, though, leads 6-1. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. The kind you wanna stay up with all night.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
We are back. William Tomlinson will lead things off for Canes, Virginia, followed by Jackson Rosales and Ryan Steeper. Ridiculous defensive effort ended the inning and denied Carolina Prime some runs that could have had us talking about run rule territory here. And we'll see if Canes, Virginia can build on that momentum and try to get something going against Blake Bryant, who has just been pretty much untouchable to this point as he's out for his fourth inning of work.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit, probably a downtick in velo a little bit after such an extended break.
One shot into left field, but that will be caught for the first out as it goes into the glove of Slade Sweat.
We'll see what Bryant's got. I mean, that was a long layoff, but obviously a guy that's more than ready for the moment. Good work by the bat boy. Had to cover some ground right there.
No, it's just been long layoff after long layoff for Bryant in this game.
But finally, a bit more of a breakthrough for the runs, so he gets to pitch with a much more comfortable lead now.
Well, he's got Jackson Rosales with one down. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. That last pitch, 91.3.
Yeah, that's what you'd like to see. After the long break, he comes out for the bottom of the fourth, and he's still sitting there in the low 90s.
Swings through that. Count is now 1-2. So he goes to the secondary stuff there to get himself within one pitch of another strikeout. He's got 6 so far. That one is skied in left field. Sweat's on the run. Cam's underneath it, and he's got the second out.
Yeah, it seemed like he just left that breaking ball a little too high, but good work right there. Slade Sweat trying to get all 3 outs here. But I'm sure Blake Bryant would rather he didn't.
Ryan Steeper is 0 for 1. 53 pitches thus far for Bryant.
Probably nice for him to get a little bit of an efficient start to this one, not having to go deep into these at-bats, getting outs via the strikeout.
Yeah, the only thing, though, that's really seemed to be an issue for him, and it's not necessarily on him, is getting out of the innings.
Yeah.
That's really been the only trouble so far.
With 2 outs, just a random error. That one at first base was particularly weird because it seemed like it went in the glove and just kind of went.
Yeah, just
glanced
off the top of his glove. Yeah. And we saw Caden Ridge Nance with the throw over to first base to Seth Seuss, and he had a bit of an oddity there. We also saw a really tough play at shortstop to try to get an out, and that resulted in the first error of the game. Swing and a miss. Count is now 1-2.
Let's see if he's still got that strikeout stuff that we've already seen 6 times to this point.
Comes the 1-2 to Steeper.
There it is.
Gets him 7 strikeouts for Blake Bryant, and all you can do is shrug your shoulders and walk away if you're a batter at this point. Blake Bryant is absolutely locked in. He's dealing, and we have a 6-1 lead for Carolina Prime when we come back from LakePoint Sports. Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit the Bubble here on the LakePoint Sports campus or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. We are back. Mandela Broman returns on the mound in this relief effort for Canes, Virginia. Carolina Prime leads 6-1, and certainly an interesting inning. We kind of have had these last few games where we've had some run rules, and now we got to see if Canes, Virginia can continue to hold it down defensively and give their lineup an opportunity to keep this game going.
Yeah, still got 30 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time to make things happen. It's just a little hard to make things happen when Blake Bryant is spinning a gem on the other end. So, yeah, you got to hold him off here if you want to continue this game, because if you see that 8 after 5 is the magic number, and right now you have a 5-run lead. So Carolina Prime going to try and jump on some offerings from Mandela.
Big piece here for Mandela Broman. No free passes. We've seen 9 walks issued by Canes, Virginia pitching thus far. 2 by Ryan, 7 by Caffarillo, who did not allow a hit but was tagged for 4 runs. So that's the opportune marching order here for Broman, is just don't allow anybody on via the walk. And we saw a very quick, efficient end to the inning for him. I believe it was just 1 pitch, right?
Yeah,
2 pitches.
pretty
And
quick.
and he was able to get some help defensively from Jacob Eckhart, and a fantastic play at second base. And that one is skied into left field, and that will be hauled in for the first out. So Broman getting the job done. 2 batters, 2 pop-outs thus far, and now we'll move things over to Jeremiah Alford.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Sweat was able to get that much pop into that one. It was really off the hands, but still came off 88 off the bat. Got a ball on the field. Going to slow some things down for a second.
2 outs within 4 pitches so far for Broman, so some certainly efficient effort for him here. I'm sure they hate to lose the defensive play in center field that he provides, but he's giving them something they need on the mound right now.
And this Carolina Prime team wants to swing on the pitches he's throwing. He's not really throwing too high velo. Honestly, this is the velo that guys typically would feast off of, that low mid-80s. It needs to be fast enough to give it a good look, and obviously it's not, blazing by you.
Yeah, I mean, but they've also seen some variations. They've seen some mid to low 70s that started off with Ryan. You saw some mid 70s with Caffarillo. Now you're going to that lower 80s. And again, we talk about you get used to what a pitcher looks like during the game, and you see those changes in velo.
Definitely.
It's going to at least from the visual side of it, it's going to look a lot faster than it is just when you've seen some lower velos to start.
Yeah, and with Broman's delivery and just the fact that he's a primary center fielder, you're not looking at much movement either out there on the mound. So it's going to be a pretty flat 82 coming in.
Misses high, and the count will be even. Alford is 0 for 1 after him. It's Slade Bird in the top of the order. I feel like Slade Bird's been to the plate 8 times in this game. Swings through that. Broman gets a strikeout. Now 2 down as it goes back to the top of the order, and Slade Bird.
It's good stuff.
Alford with some words there for Bird as he steps in.
This is exactly what you wanted if you're Canes, Virginia. Just got to keep it up. Things have been troubling with 2 outs for you already in this game, so don't celebrate too early.
That one is skied. Left fielder on the run. Can he make the catch?
Man.
He, in fact, does gets himself another out, and exactly what Canes, Virginia needed was an efficient, quick inning. They got that with Broman on the mound. Carolina Prime, though, leads 6-1 as we move along from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
170 teams have descended upon Emerson, Georgia for the 17U National Championship, all eyeing a spot in Tuesday's championship game. We've got our game of the day going on right now between Carolina Prime and Canes, Virginia. Carolina Prime leads 6-1 as we move along to the bottom of the fifth inning, where Blake Bryant, the Clemson commit, is back out for another inning of work, and he has just been fantastic thus far. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit, 1 earned run. Just absolutely dazzling as we rejoin you, Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen. First pitch, 103.2. That one driven right into the ground. First baseman has it, though, marches to the bag in time. I'm surprised they didn't put a hole in the turf. 103.2 off the bat. That was...
I have a hard time believing that number. I'm going to be honest. I mean, it took a pretty significant bounce, but, man, 103.2.
Skipping stones for the first out. That was Cody Peck. I think Cody Peck will take that readout, though, on his profile. Dylan O'Connor, the DH, now up with 1 down. I got a feeling, I don't think I'm buying that exit velo.
Yeah. That's just pretty ridiculous for something you put straight into the ground. I think it's fouled off, it looked like.
Well, now a 1-1 count here to O'Connor.
I thought he got the called strike on the first one. I think it might be 0-2. No.
Swing and a miss. It's now 1-2. Connor, 6'4", 200-pounder. Another of the parade of Miller School players in this team. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Blake Bryant. Make that 8 on the day for the Clemson commit. One of the top-ranked right-handed pitchers in the nation is putting on a show.
And he still hit 92 in his 5th inning of work right there to get the strikeout. I mean, this guy's built for it. And we were talking, if he puts on some more weight, this is the kind of frame that hits those high 90s numbers, for sure.
Yeah, it would not be a surprise if he spends the winter maybe putting on 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
That we're talking about by the end of next high school season that he's in triple digits.
Maybe. Triple digits is a big leap.
If you're 94, I'll say 96.
Yeah, like I could definitely see it, like when high school season comes around, seeing him hit like 98 would not be ridiculous.
That one driven to the first baseman. He's going to make the play himself through another inning. Blake Bryant and Carolina Prime just keep getting it done. They lead 6-1 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I'm gonna have to go Acuna, Chris Hale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
It'll be Tyler Van Summer and Ben Fussell and Roman Colella for Carolina Prime. Mandela Broman back on the mound. His third inning of work here for Canes, Virginia, as they try to keep this thing steady and allow their offense an opportunity to try to fight back into this one. But they have really had their hands full against Blake Bryant. He's allowed just one hit so far as we now sit in the 6th inning. Broman has been efficient. That's the 11th pitch for him.
Good breaking ball right there. I don't think Van Summeren was necessarily ready for that one. But Van Summeren having a good game to this point. He's 1 for 2, got a walk as well. He's come around both times he's reached, so looking to add on here again.
Broman, the 2024 Feature Gamer North Carolina commit, primarily an outfielder. He's got an 0-2 count now against Van Summeren.
That breaking ball's got some significant vertical drop. Van Summeren's trying to just put a beating on it.
You know, sometimes you love a guy who's just an athlete, come out there and get on the mound and just showing, yep, you can get it done. For a team that certainly needed some steady production on the mound in this one. Again, they've allowed 9 walks. And those have largely resulted in Carolina Prime taking the 6-1 lead. The big storyline in this one, they had bases loaded 8 times. And Summer puts that in play. Is that going to scoot through? Throw over to first will be in time. That'll be out number 1.
Yeah, Van Summeren was just waiting on a fastball to jump on something and put some bat on it, but not enough.
Ben Fussell is 1 for 2.
We saw him just about get it done in one swing earlier to the opposite field, so we'll see if Fussell's got some pop in the bat here.
First pitch misses. Go back to what I said the last inning with Broman. The biggest thing here is you do not want to issue walks. We've certainly seen Carolina Prime take advantage of those. Fussell fouls that off. In those 8 instances in which they had the bases loaded, 2 walks and 3 wild pitches built this Carolina Prime lead. Miss inside, count will be 2-1. After Fussell, it's Roman Colella, the DH, and then Colby Tatter, the catcher. It's the 2-1.
Oh, that one's hit well.
Sure is. That's going to drop down for hit the 8th of the day for Carolina Prime, and their first since the 3rd inning. We were looking back through the play-by-play on this one, and they did score 4 runs in the 4th off of 0 hits.
This has been the guy if you're looking for run production. Colella scored a run himself and has 2 RBIs. The only guy with multiple RBIs in the lineup. So certainly the guy you want at the plate, he's going to pop that one up.
He's 1 for 2, has a walk, and he does, in fact, pop out to the first baseman for the 2nd out. So Colella's down, and now it's Colby Tatter, the catcher. If you get another scoreless inning out of Mandela Broman, I don't know that Canes, Virginia could be asking for much more from their center fielder coming in this game. Tatter is 1 for 2. also has a walk.
Let's see if Fussel's going to try and make his way around the bases here.
Is skied foul. First baseman on the run. Can he make a play on it? It's out of our camera view, and obviously ball goes back to the pitcher, and this AB will continue. I'm a big fan of the catchers having the hat on underneath.
Yeah. I love like the backwards helmet thing, like the little
like that little hat. Yeah.
helmet.
Yeah, I'm a much bigger fan of that look though than just the actual mask that
Yeah.
has the built-in. That's a.
There goes Fussell.
Yeah, he takes off for second. Throw is going to be high. He gets a stolen base with 2 outs.
The thing about Fussell, we know he's fast. We've seen him run. He doesn't it doesn't look like he's running hard.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, it's just effortless speed. And he just flies around the bases. Getting real aggressive right now. His batter's not even close to the batter box, and he was already full lead off.
Yeah, Fussell at 5'9", too, so it's not as though you're talking about a 6'5" guy who's just kind of gliding. That's a strike.
And I think as well at the plate for Fussell, it's kind of that like compact power type of look to him, and like he can hit for power. We saw him put one at the wall. We saw him hit one just about 90 off the bat that dropped in for the single there, and he can kind of do it all.
Comes a 2-1. It's going to miss. Broman has not issued a walk thus far. See if he can get his way back into this account, or maybe even have a pitch put in play, bring it into the inning. He's had some strong defense behind him. Here comes a 3-1 to Tatter. That one is roped foul. Counts full. Broman delivers. And there is his first walk, so we'll have runners at first and second. Caden Ridge Nance steps in. Nance is 2 for 2.
Got just over 15 minutes on the clock now for our time limit here. So that's certainly starting to come into play with how extended this inning has already been.
First pitch goes down the left side, foul. Six runs on 8 hits for Carolina Prime. They've committed 2 errors. Meanwhile, Cairns, Virginia has 1 run on 1 hit. That RBI coming via the guy on the mound right now, Mandela Broman, off a double. That one's back foul.
Longer that Carolina Prime is able to extend this inning, the better chance they have of not having to play a 7th. That is a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, especially the way that Bryant's been pitching, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you expect he's going to deliver you another quick inning, and you know that Cairns, Virginia is going to get that opportunity as the home team.
Yeah. I'm glad that he was able to just laugh off that swing, because that was a pretty awkward one there. Then he was pretty lucky to foul it off.
Caden Ridge Nance with a pretty impressive mustache.
Yeah, these guys all have mustaches. If they can grow one, this whole lineup's got mustaches. Fussell, Van Sumeren, they're both rocking them.
That's something we don't normally see on these fields.
No, not typically.
we get a 14-year-old out here with a mustache. I think people are going to want to see a birth certificate.
Yeah. Sometimes those guys from Texas, man, some of those Texas teams, those kids look so old.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Or they show up with their wife and kids. You kind of have some question marks.
Exactly, and they drove themselves here.
That's right. First base has
foul.
it, touches the bag, but it is foul. Well, how do you have to be to drive farm equipment? Because when I was in high school in West Central Ohio, guys would drive tractors to school sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we didn't go to a rural high school. It's just they would drive them in from farms that were outside the city limits.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody was driving their tractors to Etowah High School.
0-2 misses. Count will be 1-2 now. I bet back in the beginning of Etowah High School somebody was.
Maybe.
Started open in 1976, right?
It might have been a little later than that.
Pretty sure
and
it
it
opened
wasn't
in
a
the
very
70s.
developed area.
Yeah,
but
I would say back then somebody
maybe a chance.
It's probably happened once or twice. Mandela Broman gets a strikeout. Inning is over. A couple of runners stranded by Carolina Prime, but they lead 6-1 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Blake Bryant out for another inning of work. His Carolina Prime team up 6-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Brendan Shadlack will lead things off for Canes, Virginia, be followed by Danny Kim, and then top of the order with Mandela Broman. Broman so far the only Canes, Virginia player to get through to Blake Bryant for a hit. Had an RBI double.
I can't help but just like laugh it off when I see Blake Bryant. Like, how do you start in a bat with just the most perfectly placed breaking ball in your 6th inning of work? I don't get it. That's a good piece right there.
Second base. Oh, he caught that one. Yeah, I thought maybe he was thought. We had the camera cut over. I thought he was going to be thrown over to first, but he caught. Yeah. He gloves that one for the first out.
Canes, Virginia is going to be trying to jump on whatever they can here. You don't want to really extend this inning too long unless you're going to score 5 runs. Because if you do so, then you're going to put yourself in a position where it ends after 6.
This is Danny Kim. Kim is 0 for 1. Bryant to this point 5 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
Still hitting the 90s for Bryant.
Just an absolute easiness with the delivery. It's really no other way to equate it.
And you can kind of tell, like, he's kind of slowing himself down a little bit up there on the mound, but the velo is still there. The placement is still there. That was a disgusting changeup. Man, that thing kicked it.
I mean, we've seen a ton of great arms. I mean, you go back to, again, we mentioned Jack Bauer back in February with the spring break experience.
I saw that one up close and personal.
I mean, and certainly all the arms we've seen is to see another strikeout, number 9 for Blake Bryant. This is probably top 3 pitching performance I've seen in 2025 here on this campus.
Yeah, I think like what we're seeing right now from Blake Bryant, it rivals like what we saw from Essenberg that same week.
Yep.
Where he struck out 10 in 3 innings. Like those kinds of pitching performances are the ones that we see by the guys that have the expectation, and Blake Bryant has that expectation. We mentioned he's the 15th best right-handed pitcher in the nation. He's the number 2 right-handed pitcher in the state in this class. He's only behind Matthew Sharman, who does the same thing. We saw Matthew Sharman with an outstanding performance at Battle for Bartow here. So, like, those guys have top billing for a reason, and Blake Bryant's showing off.
Yeah,
exactly
I would say Bauer, Essenberg, Sharman, and Bryant are probably the top. Those are probably the 4 best arms I've seen here in 25.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
And that's just before you even get to feature games.
Well,
so
and we saw
Gio
Gio Rojas at NPI. I mean, he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it was a quick day for Gio, though, so we didn't get to see Gio Rojas go quite. Yeah, Trey Rangel. Yeah. We didn't get to see those guys go quite as deep into a game as we're seeing Blake Bryant. So I'm say that not to demean Rojas and Rangel, who are obviously fantastic arms, but just overall performance, the depth of and breadth of what we're seeing. Bryant putting on a different kind of performance here in the 17U National Championship. Oh, my God, that was disgusting. He's got 10 strikeouts as Broman is left frozen, firing up the bat signal for another strikeout. And, man, he is dazzling. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
I was 12 years old at Cooperstown, and my mom said if I hit a home run in Cooperstown, I could get a phone. And on the final game, I hit a bomb over left field, and I got a new phone.
I've never hit a home run up to that point. It was 14U, really small field. I wasn't hitting anything, and I finally poked one out, barely.
My first home run was 8U at Eastside. I think I was on the worst team in the whole league, and then hit the home run, and we kind of turned the season around.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. A 6-1 lead for Carolina Prime as we enter the last inning of this game of the day from the 17U National Championship. New batter at the plate for Carolina Prime. Thad Royal. Royal from Irwin County, Georgia. He's the 39th ranked right-handed pitcher in the state. We'll get a chance to see him at the plate now, where he's got exit velos up to 95 and a bat speed around 78.5, facing Mandela Broman.
It's a great name, Thad Royal. I like it. It makes me obviously think of Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State.
Most of the games we have that guy where it sounds like an action hero name. I don't really know that we have quite that action hero name here, but Broman has been really good since he's coming from center field to take over on the mound for Canes, Virginia. Gets himself his third strikeout of the game. 3 strikeouts and 2 2/3. That's 2 more strikeouts than the previous 2 pitchers for Canes, Virginia had.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a good superhero name or action hero name.
Danny Kim sounds like it would be someone's alter ego.
Yeah.
It's the 1-0 to Hetzel. That one is driven to left field. Is it going to drop? Oh, just out of the glove of the left fielder. Nearly made a diving catch. Hetzel's going to be in at second base, and he is safe with 1 out.
Yeah, we already saw the diving catch from the second baseman for Canes, Virginia, trying to match the energy there, but it's a really tough play if he would have made it.
All right, so with Hetzel aboard, gets Slade Sweat. Sweat is 0 for 3. 9 hits now for Carolina Prime in this one. They have allowed just 1. Swing and a miss. And for a guy who is not a primary pitcher, I think you have got to be impressed with what we have seen from Mandela Broman since he's entered this game.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, through 2.2, just 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, hasn't allowed a run.
He's also going north of 2,100 spin on that fastball for a guy who is not a pitcher.
That might be a little bit of that outfield arm. Do we have a read on his outfield velo? Oh, good breaking ball right there to get the swing and a miss. Make it 0-2.
Broman's
outfield
91.
arm
91 from the outfield.
Obviously, that doesn't always translate to the mound, but still, you know, he's got the groundwork for a strong arm.
The count is 1-0. Swings through that one. Comes Broman with the 1-1. Make that 1-2.
See if he can get out of this inning and bring Cairns, Virginia their final opportunity.
Yeah, if Alford gets aboard, we're going to be back to the top of the order and Slade Bird.
Oh, miss.
Yeah, runner's going to take off. Hetzel will make his way to third.
One of the first errant pitches we've seen from him.
44 thus far for Broman. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. One's going back foul. Broman settles in. Here comes this 2-2. Count will be full. Again, Slade Bird, the leadoff hitter, lurking in the on-deck circle. Just 1 walk so far for Broman. Gets the punch out, and that's going to bring an end to the inning as he gets his 5th strikeout. And big Blake Bryant, expectation is he's coming out for another inning, try to finish this thing off. His Carolina Prime team leads 6-1. We'll be back with the conclusion when we return from the 17U National Championship.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
We are back, and it comes down to the bottom of the 7th inning here with Carolina Prime leading Canes, Virginia 6-1. Blake Bryant is back on the mound. John Michael Sheff will lead things off for Canes, Virginia. He's due to be followed by William Tomlinson and Jackson Rosales.
They actually did make a pitching change.
They did?
Yes, it is Slade Sweat now.
All right, so Slade Sweat's out. Blake Bryant's day is over. Thought we'd have the opportunity to see him close this thing out. But a number of long layoffs for him at the plate, so you can certainly understand him not coming back out. But he was absolutely fantastic. Over 6 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, 1 run, and it was earned.
Yeah, that was stellar stuff. We already mentioned it while he was wrapping up his last inning, but one of the best pitching performances we've seen in 2025 here at LakePoint Sports. So Blake Bryant certainly going to remember this one. So are we.
And it's a rarity at this point, at this stage in the tournament, that we would also get that level of a pitching performance. A lot of times you'll get it early on because a team wants to hold a guy for bracket play. The fact that we saw that on a Saturday morning here from Bryant was certainly a treat for us without question.
I even saw an interesting situation. So on Tuesday, the first day of the tournament, I interviewed Jalen German. That interview's out on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook if you guys want to go check it out. But when I was talking to him afterwards, he made the start on Tuesday. He's going to start again tomorrow for Virginia Seminoles. So they're using him twice in pool play, which I thought was an interesting approach.
And Doolin's Dodgers used Cade Allen, the Prep Baseball American, the next day. So you would hold him as well for potentially for bracket play. So you're seeing a lot of those manipulations in the pitching rotations for these teams to get these guys some work, give them that rest, get them back out there if they intend on going for a run in bracket play. But I would have the expectation that we don't see Blake again in this tournament, but you never know.
I doubt it.
Maybe he
but
can
also
come in and
this
give you
might
another
be
inning.
the last game they play at all this summer for Blake. So we'll see. And there's a great pitch right there for the strikeout from Slade Sweat. Strikeout stuff doesn't just end with Blake Bryant.
Yeah, the schedule for Carolina Prime, they beat Top Tier Dudes 2026 3-2 on Wednesday. Then they beat MASH 17U Black 9-3 on Thursday, and beat Factory Select 8-0 on Friday. And obviously trending towards another win in this one. They'll wrap things up at least in pool play with USA Prime Midwest Scout on Sunday, and that'll be played here at LakePoint Sports at 3 p.m. Meanwhile, Canes, Virginia were 3-2 winners over USA Prime and Midwest on Wednesday. Then they lost to Top Tier Dudes 7-3 on Thursday, lost to MASH 17U Black on Friday, and losing this one, and they've got Factory Select in their final pool play game on Sunday.
Yeah, Carolina Prime, certainly a team that, from what we've seen from them already, a team that should be in the conversation for who we could see on Tuesday. I think looking at some of the rosters heading into this week, I think Dirtbags National is a loaded roster to look out for. You mentioned Doolin's Dodgers, certainly a team we could see. They were the winners of the 14U National Championship. So a lot more programs than just those. Obviously, East Cobb Astros out here. I think 16U and 17U playing here. So
Justin Iannetto from Dirtbags National, supposed to catch up with him after this one. He's going to be here for part of Team Carolinas for the senior feature games. So excited to talk to him about that one. That one is skied. It's got everybody on the run. We'll just watch the reaction here from Rosales, and he tells you everything you need to know. That's out number 2. That'll bring Ryan Steeper is the last chance here for Canes, Virginia. Yeah. I'm really excited to watch year 2 of the senior feature games because we saw it last year. The number of guys, Xavier Bartram was the one I think we spent a lot of time talking about getting on to Power 4 programs.
Yeah.
Who else takes advantage of that?
Yeah.
That spotlight, that stage.
Chance Sabri, who was all over our social media for multiple different times throughout the year. He was a player of the game during the summer.
Yep.
Then had an outstanding 17U national championship, then an outstanding senior future games, got himself the commitment to Georgia Southern, and then we featured him in our Groundhog's Day post.
That's right.
He's another guy that found himself at a good program in Georgia Southern.
So it'll be a lot of fun to watch that event unfold. Obviously, we have the feature games as well as the junior feature games. That's all July 24th through the 28th. I'm going to put when I have Sean Duncan, baseball president, here, I'm going to put him on the spot a little bit on this. I'm interested to know, they've already taken 1 year away from the junior feature
Sean,
games.
if you're listening, don't stop listening. It's the element of surprise.
Now that they've taken 1 year away from the junior feature games, with the changes in the recruiting landscape, and we've seen how many guys from last year's feature games squads still aren't committed, would they think about adding a state-by-state senior feature games and maybe even getting rid of the junior feature games and put a bigger emphasis on those seniors to be?
Yeah, and I think because of how this recruiting stuff has shifted, and like this year, we've gotten an early look at the rosters. There's really not any 2028s. We're not seeing any of those sophomores.
And that's because of the super sophomore games are a week later.
Exactly.
So you've taken away the need for that.
Yeah, and I think that also means more of the rising juniors are going to get a look, and this game is over with right there on the strikeout from Slade Sweat.
All right, Ryan Steeper goes down on strikes, and Canes, Virginia goes down 6-1. A dominant performance from Blake Bryant sets the tone, and we have a huge win for Carolina Prime in a pool play from 17U National Championship. When we come back, we'll talk moment that matters, Publix player of the game, and put a bow on this one when we return from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Hale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tellus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Football and probably okay.
I'd be the best golf player to ever live.
I'd probably play football, tight end, or I'd be the best Clash Royale player.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. A 6-1 win for Carolina Prime over Canes, Virginia in our game of the day from the 17U National Championship. And Grayson, two stories that stuck out for this one. The dominance of Blake Bryant on the mound and Carolina Prime's lineup taking advantage of opportunities presented by Canes, Virginia's pitching.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of just step up when you need to in the occasion. And obviously Blake Bryant stepped up 6 times. Every inning he came out there, he was unbelievable. But yeah, this lineup did everything they could with what they had, and it wasn't there wasn't a lot of 2-out hitting, but it was just 2-out moments that happened with 2 outs and scoring runs with the 2 outs. That was absolutely huge. It was entirely the deciding factor.
8 times in this game, Carolina Prime had the bases loaded. They got 2 walks, 3 wild pitches, gave them 5 of their 6 runs in this game. So that doesn't happen. I mean, we're talking about this one being an absolute nail-biter. Yeah. But on the flip side of that, and you mentioned Blake Bryant, he was fantastic. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, 4 base runners, 2 of them off of an error and a walk. I don't know that you could have asked for much more from the pitcher, which is why, for good reason, Blake Bryant is our Publix player of the game.
Yeah, he is definitely the player of the game for good reason. It was unbelievable. The amount of times we were just kind of like our breath was taken away by a breaking ball or just some high heat that somebody swing and miss on. Like, just unbelievable what he was doing up there. We saw him tick it up all the way to 94.8. We saw this breaking ball with just immaculate control. Beautiful shape on that breaking ball. Not sure if it's a curveball or slider. I think we might ask him that later, but it's just unbelievable to watch on the mound.
No hyperbole. One of the top 5 pitching performances here in 2025 at LakePoint Sports came from the Clemson commit, and he was just absolutely lights out fantastic. So make sure you check out our interview with him. Again, our Publix Player of the Game. That'll be shared across all of our social media channels a little bit later today. Let's switch gears here and go to our Aspen Hospitality Group, a moment that matters. And that comes from the glove of Jacob Eckhart, the second baseman on the run. Bases are loaded. He makes a diving catch in traffic. Just absolutely fantastic effort defensively here from the Jefferson Forest High second baseman, 2021 junior feature gamer. He got them in out of what could have been a whole bunch of trouble. Bases were loaded. I mean, at that point, we've already seen in that inning 4 runs. We could have gotten into run rule territory for Carolina Prime offensively. A big defensive moment, a lot of them for Canes Virginia in this one, but that Jacob Eckhart moment just stood out.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And then you have to factor in, like you said, it was a catch kind of in traffic. You had that right fielder storming in, kind of pulls off when he saw that second and first had it covered, and then the first baseman very smartly slows himself down and lets Eckhart go for it. And I mean, that's just an unbelievable catch anytime you make it.
Fantastic stuff there, and we are far from done here at LakePoint Sports. Make sure you join us on Tuesday. We'll have coverage of the championship game from the 17U National Championships. That one is slated for 11:20 a.m., so we hope that you join us for that one. It's like all of our broadcasts available for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So until then, for Grayson, Rosen, and producers Maddie Bullock and Mason Monroe, I'm Cory McCartney, and for now, we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.